The Orcs' long-awaited new Codex will be with us very soon, and you can get your hands on it early, and with exclusive cover art, as part of the Beast Snagger army set that's up for a pre-order in just a few days. Given that the Codex comes with a whole heap of dead, killing new rules, we thought we'd dive into Dakka today. The Orcs, it's safe to say, are not noted marksmen, but what they lack in accuracy, they've always made up for in rate of fire and raw enthusiasm. A tactical approach the Orcs themselves have dubbed Dakka. In battle, this typically means that if you roll a 6 to hit, you get to shoot again, granting you a fair few extra shots when the boys have their eye in. It's a system we all love, but what if it was even better? That's right, Dakka is no longer an ability, it's an entirely new weapon type, and that weapon type has 2 separate attack values, giving you many more shots when firing at up to half your maximum range. Dakka weapons generate solid damage output overall, but particularly reward Orcs that gamble and get in real close before pulling the trigger. Even Orcs with guns want to get as close to a good scrap as they possibly can. Dakka gets even scarier when you look at the really big guns. For instance, Gaskell's already spectacular Orcs Raw goes from Assault 12 to Dakka 16-12, a significant uptick. Likewise, the Gorkonaut's Deathstorm Mega Shooter moves from a heavy 18 to a frankly alarming Dakka 30-20. Yes, that's 30 strength 6 shots within 18 inches. Considerably more than most Orcs can be bothered to even count. Even the humble boys get a considerable boost with Big Shooter moving from a perfectly decent Assault 3 to Dakka 5-3, and regular shooters switching from Assault 2 to Dakka 3-2, making them significantly more lethal at close range. The weapon upgrades don't end there. Orc range weaponry has improved almost across the board, but new style rockets really shine. Rocket launchers, rocket cannons, and custom mega blasters all get more shots and that all-important blast keyword. And there's plenty more like that in the Orcs leveled up arsenal, which we'll leave you to discover for yourselves when a new codex drops at the end of the month. But we've got one more honourable mention, the glorious Bubble Chucker. So now, instead of rolling a d6 for shots, strength, AP, and damage, and hoping for the best, you simply roll a d3 to get one of the 3 intensely painful weapon profiles. Our tactical recommendation is this: do everything in your power to stay out of the way of the dense bubble. The all-new Codex Orcs will be available at first in the Beast Snagger Orcs army set, coming with exclusive cover artwork and 26 brand new Orc miniatures. It'll then become available on its own a little later this year. In the meantime, keep checking back with us here on the Warhammer Community website this week for more Orky sneak peeks. Goodbye! Hello, Sydney here, and welcome to the Drunken Orc. So, today we're going to have a look at the news that came out on the 14th of July, which as we all know is a Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday. Although it's not Wednesday. I don't know what day it is today. It's Thursday or Friday. But, you know, bear with us. I'm rattling these out now. Pew, pew. So, here we go. The new Codex Orcs guns. 4 words. Do you just find, I don't know if you only notice this if you read these out loud, but some of these articles that GW put out, horrible. It's like they get 2 perfectly fine sentences and smash them together so hard that all the punctuation falls out of them and then goes, yeah, that'll do. Jesus, man. Anyway, sorry. New Codex Orcs guns are so shooty that Dakka is a whole weapon type. Okay, so here we go. So it mentions the fact that it's coming on soon, which is of course Saturday the 17th. Still a few days away. And then it goes on to a little bit of gentle racism, saying that orcs are not noted marksmen, stereotypes. And what they lack in accuracy have always made up for in rate of fire. Disgusting. And as we know, Dakka rules were always roll 6, get another shot. It's always nice to have an extra shot to miss with. So that's all very nice. So before we go any further though, I mean, look at this picture. Hell's shit and teeth. Them guardsmen are knackered. Superb. Just superb. Jets and stompers and dreads. Oh, I love it. What is not to love there? It's cracking. Anyway, so it's a system we all love, but what's even better? Dakka weapons. Dakka weapons unleash a terrifying volume of shots. Whether these are effective or not depends on the proximity of the target. So it makes sense, doesn't it? Dakka weapons have two values for the number of attacks they make. When a model shoots a Dakka weapon, use the first value if the target is within half the weapon's range. If the target is not within half the weapon's range, use the second value instead. Okay, now, let's see, that's right, Dakka is no longer ability, it's entirely new weapon. So here we've got the weapon profiles. Mork's Raw, old weapon, 30-inch range, assault 12, strength 5, minus 1 AP, 1 damage. Mork's Raw, new weapon, 36-inch range. Oh, he's had a bit of a range increase, that's good. Dakka 16, stroke 12, 5, minus 1. Right, so it's gone up. That's gone up by 25% within 18 inches. 16 shots, that's pretty good. Now, yeah, I mean, that basically is far superior to the current rules. Let's say Ghazi shoots his Mork's Raw with 12 shots, and he's going to get, on average, 2 of those are going to be Dakkas. He's getting 4 extra shots within half range. That's the kicker. It's just straight up 4 extra shots. You don't have to roll the 6s, you're just getting them, and you're getting a bit more as well. They are not same chance as it was before. So really, if it goes up by 25%, certainly for Mork's Raw, that is better. So that's good. For instance, Gazgul's a very spectacular Mork's Raw, yet we know that. Likewise, the Gorkonaut's Deathstorm Mega Shooter moves from a heavy 18 to a frankly alarming Dakka 30-20. $30 shots. Oh, that's a beautiful Gorkonaut as well. Lovely, lovely yellow. 30 shots from 18 to 30. I mean, yeah. Look at that. 18 average, three extra shots. Fuck, I'd have 12. That's I mean, even go just that's superb. That's a lot of shots from that. Well, I mean, you know, he's still only going to hit with an average of 10. Let's have a look. Even the Humble Boys are getting a considerable boost, with big shooters moving from a perfectly decent Assault 3 to a Dakka 5-3. Okay, so all the standard shots are staying the same. If the over half range stays the same pretty much as it was, except for obviously Gork's the Gorkonaut weapon, because that's gone up anyway. But the big shooters, there we go from Assault 3 to Dakka 5-3. So instead of an average half an extra shot, you're getting 2. And the shooters have gone from Assault 2 to Dakka 3-2. So, you know, an extra shot, an extra 50% shots. Yeah, they're definite improvements. But obviously we're changing these from Assault to Dakka. And I've not seen anywhere what Dakka is other than the 2 number of shots profile. Is there going to be something else? Can you advance in Dakka at a penalty? I would assume, but can you? It doesn't say. Well, it's not yet anyway. The weapon upgrades don't end there. Ork range weaponry is improved almost across the board, but new style rockets really shine. Launchers, cannons, custom mega blasters. Oh, let's have a look. And they're getting the blast keyword. So rocket launcher, Assault 1, yep, heavy D3. Wow. So no Dakka in this. Looks like we're out with the Dakka woods now. Go to heavy D3. Well, that's. I mean, yes, you can't advance and fire, and if you move and fire, it's at a -1 penalty, unless you're a vehicle. So rocket launchers are Assault 1, Strength 8, -2 damage, 3 AP. They basically moved to a heavy D3 with a blast keyword, so you know that helps you maximise that D3. But basically, yeah, that's, well, one, the negative that people will see is the fact it's went to heavy, and the downside of heavy, you can't fire when you advance. You get a minus for moving and firing. Unless you're a vehicle, there's no minuses for moving and firing a vehicle with a rocket launcher. And mostly, well, I don't know, I wouldn't say most things are in vehicles. Tank busters with rocket launchers. You've got a squad of 15 tank busters. I mean, 15 rockets. I mean, you know, we get the right wide on our being able to fire twice. It's just D3 shots, and we'll possibly be able to do it again. Can you say 30 D3 rocket shots? Yeah, the penalty for moving and firing, that's a bit of a nuisance. But we don't know what the new stratagems are going to get. I'm guessing we're no longer going to have things like more Dakka where you hit on 5s, generating extra shots. I'm guessing that's completely gone, because it looks like the Dakka rule's gone, so it makes sense that goes. So is there going to be some stratagems which give you just an automatic hit on 5s, or extra shots again? Or we don't know. It's too early to say, but yeah, I think that's good. I mean, they're going to be losing the old ability to fire into combat on a vehicle, which is a bit of a shame. You no longer shoot the attacking troops with rocket launchers. Or the rocket cannon, which has also got blast. 2d3 shots, went to 3d3 heavy. Again, rocket cannons only on vehicles, so don't worry about moving and shooting. You can't advance and shoot. It's a bit of a shame, because Megatrap scrapped yet. You want to be getting that in combat. You want to be advancing, I imagine. So it's a shame you can't advance and fire now. Well, I'm guessing you can't advance and fire now. And then you got the custom Mega Blaster at the bottom, which has gone 24, Assault 1, Strength 8, -3, AP, D6. Again, scan through Assault. Oh, Assault D3. Alright. That's alright, yeah. So they can still move and fire. Custom Mega Blasters. Grot tanks. Various walkers. Well, Death Dreads. Morganauts. Yeah, I mean, the good weapons. Assault D3 is not bad at all. You still get the unmodified hit roll of 1 made for attacks with this weapon. The bearer suffers 1 mortal wound. So yeah, still a max at 1 mortal wound per firing phase. You could fire 3 shots, roll 3 ones, and still only take 1 wound. It's not 1 wound for each one. It's just, if you roll any. Altogether, do you know what? It's up the firepower, and it has limited the movement. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that's fine. If I'm running a orcs to attack, to charge, to get to close range and get into combat, I'm not paying to give them rocket launchers. I'm not paying to give them custom Mega Blasters on me dreads and all that. Therefore, hanging back and shooting, if I want to play that style. If I'm running slugger choppers, we won't even give them a big shooter. You know what I mean? Just slugger choppers, just maximise the number of attacks. So I've got no problem with that, really. The only downside is not being able to fire the rocket cannon in combat, rocket launchers in combat, and custom Mega Blasters in combat. You can't fire them in combat anymore because they've all got the blast keyword. So that's a bit of a shame. Anyway, what we've got next? The Bubble Chucker. What a fun, if useless, weapon. It's the swingiest thing. But it's changed. So, instead of rolling D6 for the shot, strength, AP and damage now, and hoping for the best, you got that right, you roll a D3 to get one of the 3 intensely painful profiles. So, it's still 48-inch range, and we've got a big bubble, a wobbly bubble, and a dense bubble. So, the big bubble looks like your general purpose bubble, and the infantry, should I say, heavy 3d3 with blast. Strength 6, -2 AP, 1 damage. That is going to shred light infantry. Absolutely shred them. I mean, up against things like Guardsmen or Eldari or Tyranids, that's going to be wounded on 2s, knocking all the save off, at least maybe it's a 6, taking them out. That's your infantry killer. Number 2, the Wobbly Bubble. Strength 8, -3 AP, 3 damage on a heavy D6. Get him a blast. Yep, that's going to do the same as the first one, but the Marines, including Gravis. That's decent. And lastly, the Dense Bubble. Heavy 1, Strength 10, -4 AP, damage D3 +3. There's your anti-vehicle one. Although, to say it's anti-vehicle it's not taking out many vehicles. It's going to take, on average, 2 or 3 to take out something like a rhino. So you've got to hit it, fire with 3 bubble chuckers, roll dense bubble 3 times, and then hit with that. Because if you get the other ones, I mean, actually the wobbly bubble's probably better at taking out light vehicles like a transport, like a rhino or something. But you choose your target first, don't you? Oh. After selecting targets, roll 1d3 to determine which of the profiles below to make the attacks with. If a unit contains more than 1 bubble chucker than its target in the same unit, determine the profiles for each weapon separately before any attacks are resolved against that target. Right, so 2 things. It does still make it a little bit of a, you know, a gimmicky thing. That's not going to be as effective as you'd like it to be. You know, when you're getting charged by a swarm of termagants and you smash one to pieces with a dense bubble, or you just have a light rain of big bubbles all over an enemy tank, just pop, 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 doing naff all because you haven't been able to decide it. So, you know, it's still a bit of fun, but if you roll well, yeah, why not? Secondly, if a unit contains more than 1 bubble chucker that is targeting the same unit. So if a unit contains more than 1 bubble chucker, so at the moment, you can have a unit, for example, of 6 bubble chuckers. And when you put them on the table, you've got to set them up 3 inches apart from one another. But when the game starts, they are counted as separate units which can go their own way. But this seems to indicate that they're still a unit. I've heard rumours about this, things like buggies having to stay within unit coherency and what have you when they land on the table. They don't split up anymore. It's not so much of an issue with stuff like this, to be fair, with the guns, because who moves the mech guns? You might edge them slightly during the game, but that's it. But for the buggies flying around the place, it's quite a big thing. And if this is indicating that rule about becoming separate on the tabletop is ending, that might it'll affect buggies more than this, but is it hinting towards that? I don't know. Put your comments down below on what you think. But altogether, bubble chucker, yep, still a bit of fun, still a bit random, a lot better than it was, so that's good. And that's it. Yeah. Just a little plug for the Beast Snagger Orcs Army set coming out on Saturday the 17th. I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it, not just yet. In fact, I tell you what, I'll get mine, and then I'll stick a message up on the community saying I've got it, and then you get yours. That's the only fair way to do it, really, I think. So, another video down. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Leave your comments below. And until next time, it's probably in a few hours, take care. Bye-bye. And with weapon type has 2 separate attack values, and that weapon type has 2 separate attack values.